Hey guys, this is Clayton Kershaw from the Los Angeles Dodgers. Watch MLB games on SPOZONE.
Kohei Arihara gearing up for his final outing of spring training. Of course, this is the final game of the spring training season in Arizona before they head toward that, of course, left that position wide open, and it should be interesting to see, guys, how the things unfold over the next few days.
Yeah, it's a complicated question that they are pondering right now as we wind down this spring training season, and today may play a part in how that goes down ultimately. So Arihara ready to go against this Cubs team. The Cubs 14-8 pitching style, rotation, whatever timing. Pitch once a week in Japan, and that's not how it happens at Major League Baseball. So he may be tested in that way as he gets a ground out of Happ for the first out of the ball game.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the defense here for the Texas Rangers this afternoon. You just saw Nick
Stanford in 2018, drafted by the Cubs that summer, and he strikes out swinging. So 2 away.
So you see his reaction right there. I can't say for sure what that grip was. It was hard to tell, but there was movement on this pitch. See whether or not it was a four-seam fastball trying to go away. Look at the movement on this. Now it moved like a two-seamer. Could have been a two-seamer. Hard to say for sure. But as we have the conversation about him trying to straighten out that heater, it might have been an example where he almost looked dissatisfied with that strikeout, right? Which you should always be happy. Even if you miss your spot, take it. But I get where he may have been a little.
Another swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Arihara. Very nice beginning this afternoon. Now the Rangers come to bat. Stepped into a slightly different role, into Theo's role. There's strike 3 called, and Bodie, the 3rd straight strikeout for Arihara.
We mentioned a deep repertoire for Arihara. This looked like it might have been a slider. Didn't exactly do what he wanted it to do, but it ended up being a strike. But what caught my attention, I don't know if you saw this, Jonah Heim and the signal that he put down.
Got the ground out of Happ. 3 straight strikeouts. They want this one up. Marisnick didn't mind. It could be playable. Nope, drops in front of Gallo. So first into the ball game for the Cubs, Jake Marisnick, the speedy center fielder.
So an 0-2 count in which they wanted to elevate. In this situation, they're looking for the swing and miss. And this is a little bit new to Arihara, as we talked about. Elevating the fastball is what he has been working on. And listen, it's weak contact is a good pitch. You probably would have liked to throw that maybe a little bit higher in that spot if you really want to nitpick and get that strikeout. But listen, weak contact base hits, not a lot you can do about that. Does he have a pitch in there that he feels like he can throw down the middle with enough movement to get a ground ball, like that 2-seam fastball or the split or the slider?
Well, there's the ground ball, second base. Quick flip. And Kiner Falefa back to first for the double play. 4-6-3, the twin killing. Arihara wanted the ground ball, and he got it when he needed it.
Yeah, great job here. Looking for that weak contact in this situation. Behind in the count, no runner on the move, and he delivers, and the Rangers turn it right behind him. Beautifully done all the way around.
OU, whether you're here or not, we're going to be good. But we think that you can make us better. Regardless of where you go, though, we feel like we've got the things in place. Like, so it wasn't so much like, oh, we need you, we're so desperate to have you. It's like, we're going to be fine if we don't get you, but we'd still love to have you here. So that's what sold him on OU. Everybody else, he said, was just kind of falling all over him.
So if you were full of ego, that doesn't work for you, right? Doesn't necessarily love hearing that. That might tell you something as the recruiter saying, you know what, this might not be our guy anyway.
Line shot up the middle and snared by Solak behind the bag. So a wisdom ground out. Higgins into the line out, and 2 quick outs here in the 3rd.
You love seeing that. Arihara comes in, he throws some strikes quickly after a long Ranger inning when they put up 6. That does, it makes that fastball look a little bit harder, right? By itself, he's not overpowering with the fastball, but how do you dress it up a little bit? Well, in a fastball count, throw an off-speed pitch, and then in a 2-2 count, come back with a pretty well-placed fastball.
Well, got him to chase the high heat there, and the inning is done. 4th strikeout for Arihara through 3 shutout innings. He's full on Hernandez. Arihara, 3 shutout innings so far this afternoon. And just waiting to head back out for the fourth. Not sure how many he'll go today. 4, 5. When you had a season where you might have been up to the big leagues, sent back down, you know, option back and forth, that kind of thing, did you typically go back to the same apartment? This one lined into left field. And Happ is aboard. He'll have extra bases as he cruises to second with a leadoff double. Just the second hit today for the Cubs.
So I would say this, it depends. It really does vary for a lot of guys. I think about the up. I don't know if I've had any up and down years, quite honestly. It seemed like I'd be down and then up, but I wouldn't necessarily be going back and forth, where I was worried about whether or not I should close out my lease. All that stuff is covered in the CBA for players. Come on, 51.
I don't know.
2.5 a year on average. On average,
It's tough.
is Emily still around?
Horner goes down on strikes, one away. Was that offensive? That was probably.
No, it wasn't offensive. It's like anything. When you feel like you have something that's fun guessing, you expect someone to underguess. The answer is 31.
31's a ton.
31 apartments.
I mean, you know, it's hard for me to even gauge. But yeah, that's a $17 activation fee for that cable system. Okay. Well, Peterson with a characteristic daddy hack right there, and that one is gone. 2-run homer. And the Cubs are on the board. Does like to swing out of his shoes. He didn't get cheated, and that was a pretty aggressive cut.
When you mentioned it, we know that Jock Peterson has power. We saw it in that Los Angeles Dodgers uniform going back to 2014 when he first broke in the big leagues. This pitch right down the middle now, trying to go all the way in, and it leaks back over. To me, that would be an interesting pitch to talk about with him, and whether or not that was the 4-seamer or the 2-seamer. Is that 4-seamer leaking? Was it staying in the way that he wanted to, or was that the goal, or was it a 2-seamer that he was trying to look for maybe that freeze called strike with him from Jock Peterson?
That was a pretty good swing, but this one into left field, and Martin, Jason Martin, who had come into play defensively, makes the catch. 2 away.
These things that he's working on, right? So as I mentioned, if that was a 4-seamer that he was hoping stayed straight and tailed back, is there something he can do to work on to make sure it does stay straighter, or is it something he says, you know what, I don't think I should be throwing that pitch like that, it doesn't work for me?
Well, Marisnik with a comfortable swing, but he lines out to left, and Arihara is through 4 innings with the Rangers leading by 4. For the Rangers, it's now an 8-2 lead for Arihara, who heads out for the 5th. Well, back here in the Sonoran Desert, Rangers with the 8-2 lead, top of the 5th inning.
Go ahead and take a look at Kohei Arihara's day so far. He has thrown the ball extremely well. You see good movement there on that 2-seam fastball, generating some swings and misses, which we'll see whether or not that's a big part of his game. The strikeouts this year, he's a little bit more of a contact pitcher, but he's done a good job against some of these Cubs hitters, and a really nice painted fastball there down and away. And even though he let up those 2 runs and there was some hard contact in that last inning, remember, he walks in with a 6-0 lead at that point. And so you want him.
About it. 1-1 to Duffy, and that one's lifted high in the air. When you get it that high, the wind can take it, and that one goes right off the top of the fence. The Shields will hustle it back in. Duffy got a great running start, and he'll have a triple. And that was more of a pop-up that just got up there in that breeze.
Yeah, continued to carry, and these are tough reads sometimes. You're going to see Delano DeShields chase this thing down after you see a breaking ball sit in the middle of the zone for Matt Duffy. And we know Delano's made some great plays in a Rangers uniform. That's at the very top of the wall. It would have been a tough one.
You know, I say in the breeze, there's no evidence of a breeze right now.
Feel it?
Yeah.
Or is that the air conditioning
AC
here?
just pop on? But there is, when you're in Arizona, that light air, higher altitude, etc. You get it up, takes a little longer for it to come down, and Patrick Wisdom lifts this one out to left field. Tough sun sky, and no chance from Martin drops in. Duffy scores on the Wisdom Sun single.
We know it's tough in left field today. That is the second time that we have seen this in this game. Joey Gallo got himself a hit with a high fly ball that he hit to left field. But, I mean, Martin, you could tell he had no idea where that baseball was. And it's no fault of his own. He has his glasses on. He's trying to use his glove. He just can't see it. An absolute battle here in Arizona right now in left field, as it usually is throughout spring training. That's tough when you're sitting here trying to judge a player. Obviously, you have to play half your games on the road. But when you think about some of these high sky places, Arizona's, of course, going to have the roof on.
All right, he takes a healthy rip at this one. And Martin makes the catch. That's a tough little play right there. That one almost carried over his head. Able to get the glove on it and reel it in for out number one.
A very nice catch there from Martin. Another healthy swing, though, here from the Cubs, as you mentioned, second time through the order. Battling that sun once again. A little bit easier because the ball wasn't as high, so you can get that read. Still a nice job by Martin. Because you know he's feeling terrible about what happened. Even though it's only a spring training game, you just want to make those plays all the time. The PR folks.
I got you guys.
But that's one I'm interested in. Just now it's the end of spring training, because this is the right time to ask him.
I'm going to push my luck, and I'm going 3 questions.
Oh, my.
I love it.
All right. Well, because I have another. Let's take a look at this replay here. And another strikeout here from Ari Hart. I think this was the split look like. You see that downward action. He also does turn his changeup over really well, but I believe that was probably the split finger. Yep, there it is. Very nice. Pitch count. So we know he pitched.
Davis may have accommodated him beautifully with that ground ball to shortstop. Hernandez throws him out, and the inning is done. Cubs do pick up a run, but a solid 5 innings for Kohei Arihara.
Tatis. Stanton will watch it fly way out of here. Big fly, Ohtani-san. Shogo, little showtime.
前田マリッツがジャンプスーパーキャッチ逆方向 It's gone
センターへ後方だ後方入りました
The Los Angeles Dodgers have put their